There's a sensation in the collective consciousness of humanity right now. It's a sense that time is really speeding up, and there's a common, I don't want to call it a misconception because sure maybe it is true or maybe it has some truth to it, but an idea that speed that the speed of time inherently speeds up as you get older. And the idea is that each year of your life is incrementally a smaller percentile of your total life. And this is a fair assumption, but I believe it's wrong. And I believe the reason it's wrong is because the very fundamental way people view time, I don't subscribe to. I don't agree with. Yeah, where's my passport? This is the way people typically view time. They believe time is very linear. They believe time is a thing, it's a force, in the same way gravity is a force. They believe time is like this. It's like a linear thing where we begin our life and time moves. And we're moving through time. This is a misconception. The way I view time, and I'm not original in this outlook, but it is an observation I've made. It is a conclusion I've come to. But it is that time is always now. Time is in a constant state of transformation, evolution, becoming. It's not that time moves, it's that we move. I don't know if this is a good explanation with this analogy, but it's not that we are moving through it, it's that it is the one moving. My point is, time is just a perception. Time is just a byproduct. We're always in this present moment of here. It doesn't matter if you go back 100 years ago. It doesn't matter if you get a time machine and go 1,000 years into the future. You'll get there and you'll realize, holy fuck, it's still now. You can wait till next week. You'll realize, holy fuck, it's still now. It is always now. And the idea of time, the perception of time, is somewhat illusory. Not illusion in the sense that it's not real, but illusion in the sense that it's not inherent to reality. It is just a perception. And what it really is a byproduct. The universe, existence, reality, exists as a whole, as one thing, one unified thing. This experience of unification is love, but I'm not going to go down that tangent. But union, wholeness. But there is a perception of separation. This comes from our perspective. We are all unique perspectives of the whole. The whole is complete, it is timeless, beyond time, beyond change, it exists. But our perspective of it is in constant evolution. Our perspective is in constant change and transformation. And this is the byproduct of time. As we shift our perspective, as we move through time, it is not that time is moving, it is that we are moving through existence, through reality. Our perspective is shifting. And the reason the collective is experiencing this idea of time speeding up, it is because we're in a time of great transformation. We're in a time of such a major shift in reality. And to prove a deeper point, to simplify it, we all know inherently that time is perception. You can be playing a video game, having sex, whatever, something dopaminergic, and hours can pass. But to you, it feels like minutes. To you, it feels like 20 minutes have gone by. But you check the time and it's been 3 hours. But for you, for your perspective, only 20 minutes have passed. Because time is purely perception. We all exist in the current moment, and the reason time is perceived to be speeding up is 2 reasons. One, the transformative time we exist in, but this is only the cause. This is not the inherent reason. The reason is because you're not present. I'll say this is very anecdotal, but for me personally, these last few years have gone by at an incredible speed. As if, like, I don't even remember 90% of it. But these last few months, as my presence has deepened, I felt it begin to slow down. Now, I know that it's not really slowing down. But as my presence deepens, as my awareness grows, my perception of time slows down. As I begin to be more aware of each moment, become more present of each moment, then I perceive more. I perceive more happening in a smaller time frame, which allows me to perceive time as slower. But when you're not present, when you're not here and now, time can disappear on you because you're not there to experience it. And of course, like I said, you can only ever be here and now, so it seems like a fallacy to say you're not here in the present. But what I really mean is your awareness is not here in the present. Your perception, what you are focused on, your attention is not on this moment. And because we live in such a transformative time, there's so much going on. There's so many things constantly taking your attention. The news, talking about all this fear-mongering, AI, wars, social media, all of this transformative things going on in the world. And you're getting so caught up in it. And it's taking you away from this very moment. And that is what is causing you to perceive that the time is slipping through your hands, slipping through your fingers. The days, they're gone, the weeks, the months, they just slip through your fingers like nothing. Because you're not here to experience them. You're not here right now, in this moment. And I don't mean this intellectually. I don't mean this as something for you to grasp philosophically with your mind. This is to be experienced in a realm beyond logic, purely presence. It's a very spiritual experience. And you have to accept a lot of spiritual... You have to accept that there's a spiritual nature to reality. Because it's not logical. Your mind cannot grasp it. As soon as you try to grasp it with your mind, you're no longer present. As your awareness deepens, you'll quickly realize that the present moment and thinking do not collide. It is why the logical thinking man and the spiritual thinking man have always been at odds. Because they contradict each other. In the state of presence, there's no room for the logical mind. As well, athletes, if you've ever been an athlete, you'll know the state called the zone, the flow state, where there's no thoughts, things just kind of happen on their own, effortlessly. In Taoism, they call it Wu Wei, effortless action. It is that state of presence, absolute presence in the exact moment. Athletes will report time begins to slow down, almost frozen in time. Things playing out in slow motion. Because time is nothing but perception. And the reason time is speeding up so drastically for you is because you have habitually been losing track of the present moment. And that is the only reason. Sure, there's other reasons, but it all comes down to the presence and your perception of it. And it's hard. I know it can be quite difficult to allow yourself to let go. Because if you're growing up in this time, you're going to be a very empathetic person at heart. The world has been in a state for so long where that hasn't been the case. But the people born today are going into that. And the reason it doesn't seem that way is simply because of past baggage. But in this transformative time that we live in now, it's very hard for the people being born today. Because the world doesn't reflect your inner state. But that's the beauty of it. You're born in a very transformative time to where 20, 30 years from now, it'll be unbelievable, unfathomable how the world was in the past. I hate the term. I genuinely hate it. But New Age spirituality is this kind of shift in consciousness that the collective's going through. Now, I don't like New Age spirituality. I just view it as a colonization of Eastern spirituality. It's exactly what fucking white people did to the East already, physically, and now they're just doing it to their culture. But there's a lot of truth in a lot of the concepts discussed in it. The shift in the collective conscious is massive and is unfolding throughout our lifetime. And it's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of discipline. But it is important that if you wish to live a life that is pleasant, and ultimately that's what we all want. We want a pleasant experience of life, whatever that looks like for you. But it's going to take a lot of effort. And the effort is worth it. Because what this life is really about is different for each person, but it comes down to a fundamental premise of knowing who you are. Knowing your place in the world, in existence. And knowing your relationship with the world. And to achieve a deeper understanding, a deeper awareness of who you are, there's millions of paths. You can go become a Buddhist if you want. You can be Christian. You can be Hindu. It doesn't matter what path you decide to take. But it has to be your own path. You have to follow what feels right to you. And understand that just because something has worked for someone else doesn't mean it's what's going to work for you. What Buddha called awakening, what Confucius called bright virtue, what Jesus called the kingdom of God. In Māori culture, we call it Te Ao Marama, the world of light. There's a place, to call it a place is kind of iffy. There is a state of consciousness within you, within all humans, within all animals, the trees, everything, that is completely pure, beyond all expectation. It's so simple and it's so right in front of you at all times, but you're not aware of it. And presence, slowing down, letting go, is the key to get there. If Jesus, I'll speak this to the Christians and people who have a respect for Jesus, because I have a very deep respect for Jesus, Yeshua. And he said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Have you ever stopped to think what that actually means? Have you ever stopped to think what he meant by knock and it'll be open for you? I'll say it right now, no Christian has ever entered the kingdom of heaven. Not because they doubt, not because they don't have faith, but because they don't doubt. Because they don't question. You have to knock. You have to seek it. Seek and you shall find. The problem is Christians don't seek. You're not looking, you're not trying to find out what is this vast kingdom he talks about that is within me? What does that really mean? It takes a seeking. You have to want to know. You have to want to experience the kingdom of God. And trust me, when you knock on the doors of the kingdom of God, it will be open. There's no lock. In fact, there's no door. You can walk right on in. And I know I'm speaking abstract, and I know it's hard to grasp. But sit in that feeling of not knowing. Sit in that feeling of confusion. And there's many paths. I like the idea of God. The concept. And I think it's a good way to follow. It's a good way to find this thing inside of you. But yeah, that's the perception of time. I know I started rambling a little bit. Sometimes the words just come on out. But yeah, comment below what you thought. But in this place of the kingdom, it is timeless. That's probably why the conversation directed that way. But yeah, comment down below what you thought. Ask me some questions. Love to ramble, as you can see.